So, real quick question. Rivers stuff in the background? Okay. Okay. I think it's working. My computer's lagging out hard, but that is none of my business. Okay. Anyways, do I look laggy on you guys' screens, or is it just me? Oh, stunning. Okay, then we're gonna go with it. Anyways, hello and welcome to Office Hours with Amber. I'm Amber. This is Office Hour. Office Hours. We have quite the room with us today. I'm so stoked because I'm always afraid no one's going to show up, like invite people to your birthday party and then you're the only one there. Deep-seated fear. Hi, Ritu. Nice to see ya.
Hi, Humble.
So today we are joined by Don Rhodes, Matt White, Ritu, Emily, my sister Jody, and my bestie girl Lily Valderrama. And week 4 of the month essentially is the community Zoom call where we all come together to talk about our goals, dreams, aspirations, how our goals were achieved this month, things we learned, chit chat, bullshit, do our thing, talk about the months ahead, seek support, show and tell, the whole nine. My computer is having a stroke, but that's, you know what, none of my business. I'm gonna close a few tabs and see what happens. Okay, vibes. So, a few quick notes before we get started. From the vibes that were submitted this month, we had an average vibes of 3, which I wholeheartedly agree with because this month was pretty mid. I did my best, but man, life just kicked my ass. So, a few more stats is we had 5 new members this month, or at least 5 new members of the Discord. So we had Laura, Jenny, Sarah, our boy Don on the call today, and then also my ADHD coach Lynn. So stoked that she joined. She's sprinkling in all of her wisdom into the Discord, and I'm encouraging her one step at a time to get excited about technology. So slow and steady, we're going to get there. So without further ado, some of the cool notes that I saw while looking through is that Jack caught up on a lot of rest. She is recovering from some burnout this month. We love. Emily did a lot of decluttering, spring cleaning, and is inspired by the springtime. However, over in Toronto, love that for y'all. It's snowing here in Michigan, so if you could just send the warmth back our way, that'd be nice because you stole it.
Oh, it snowed today too.
What?
It snowed today.
Oh, damn. Came quick.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
a preemptive spring. We are inspired that spring is coming soon. I've got some other notes that I'll hit on at some point, but as our newest member, Don, how was your month? What have you accomplished, or what are you looking to accomplish?
This month has been so-so. It's like, well, I signed up just like last week, I think, or earlier this week. And I'm not gonna lie, I cheated a little bit and I asked ChatGPT on what I should put as my goals, and which was pretty phenomenal, to be honest. But I know I said, hey, give me a monthly goal for the rest of the month, rest of the year. But I knew there was only 2 weeks left of March, so I was like, hey, fill that in with applicable stuff, and it gave me really great stuff. But it's also I feel like I should spend a week on each day that it's of the homework that it's given me. But so a little bit of some, I don't know, like, oh, am I just not that smart, or am I just my expectations are too high? But outside of that, it's been a good week or a good month so far.
Excellent. The funny thing about the goal setting is what I recognize, or one of the insights I found about myself, is that the more like Power App seems like this like delicate, nice, fluffy, do whatever you want, easy peasy, and like the more perceivably easy it is, the harder it has been for me to learn, because I haven't taken the time to actually take it seriously. And then when I start taking it seriously, I'm like, oh my God, the level of detail that's going on here is so overwhelming. And so it's tough because it's kind of this big creative mountain, and then having to break that into like the little teeny tiny steps also feels overwhelming, because there's a 1,000 little steps and you can do any which one of them and they all kind of work. So felt. Ritu, also as a recent member, I know you just made a huge move. So tell us a little bit about what's going on in your world.
Oh yeah. Just for everyone's introduction, so I'm Ritu. I am basically a chartered accountant and a career coach, and I recently made the move from New Zealand to Melbourne. And one thing I've realized is that moving in your 30s is hard. It's really basically starting your life all over again. And although these seem like neighboring countries to me, it was the whole change has kind of left me feeling a little unsettled. So everything that I have built in New Zealand and just restarting, that has taken a little bit of toll on me. But in saying that, I'm giving myself a little bit grace of like a month or two to settle in and just get my mojo back. So in terms of goals, one of the things which has been my major focus is that I have been revamping a little bit on my business side of things, in terms of I help women gain clarity and confidence in their careers, and I'm trying to get all the feedback from my past participants and then relaunch it. So I had initially given myself a timeline until April. It might trickle down to May now, but as I said, like I'm just giving myself a little bit grace and like leaning in, also exploring Melbourne a little bit. Yeah, so that's a bit from my side.
Oh man, it's hard to like build something so well the first time and having to destruct, reconstruct, rebuild. And like back when in my AB days, I had to basically move at the pace of modernization of like, okay, we don't use Access anymore. Now we use connection strings, and now we use Power Query, and now there's a different thing. And having to rebuild my tools, let alone my business or, my expectations of self a few times, especially in a new country, and like moving 1 hour away versus that far away, completely kind of recentering, even though you have like this huge global community, the foundational kind of local community is what I'm also realizing this recently is that like when I went to the Global Excel Summit, all of these kind of global entities that I'm meeting so fantastic, but they all have these firm local communities. And I was like, oh, I am missing some foundational things here. So I've been leaning in a lot this month into networking, getting involved with the Chamber of Commerce, talking with local entrepreneurs. And it's nice to feel like, oh, there's a lot of really exciting things happening like right here. I don't need to like run around. So it's nice to have kind of the dichotomy of both. But cool.
Yeah.
Lily girl, I know you have to go early, so let us know what's going on in your world.
What's going on in my world? I think we edited my goal to be like get a car. Is that my goal?
It can be.
Okay. Well, that's what I've been pursuing this month. A few mental breakdowns have happened
Yep.
across the way. For anyone who doesn't know, got in a car crash. Not my fault. But I love to pay the victim. So I've been sitting almost for a month without a car. And I have just decided that I'm just going to go to CarMax this weekend and pick whatever's on the lot, and it's going to be done. And I will achieve my goal by March.
Hell yeah.
And then I can start focusing on things that matter. But I just need a car. ASAP Rocky.
I feel that so deeply. I think I've never bought a car without crying. So
I'm like, don't have my parents here, which I'm a 26-year-old woman. I shouldn't need my parents, but I really need my parents to help me make a decision like this. It's been hard.
there was one time I got like a letter in the mail, and this was, I was a 25-year-old woman at this point. My Honda Civic, everyone loves to resell those. So I got a letter in the mail back in the day, and they were like, hey, come on in. We'll evaluate it, the cost, like the value. And I was like, okay, cool. I go in, they look, 2 looks at it, and she's beat up. Let's get that so clear. They look, two looks at it, and they're like, okay, let's get you in a new car. And I'm like, I don't think that's what I came in for. And then I ended up leaving with a new car. So,
Dude.
yeah.
I'm like trying to figure out what loan payments are and like what is happening. But I think I just need to pull myself up by the bootstraps and recognize that I'm an adult who can make decisions and gonna be fine.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
like, what color do I get?
Exactly.
Too many decisions.
If all else
okay.
fails, you can sell and rebuy if you really hate it in a few months - years. I'm the type that it's such a horrible process that I would be stuck in that car probably forever. But that's
Yeah. And we know that I'm indecisive. So
we love an
I-
impulse.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. I used to like not like my impulsivity, and now I'm thinking it's a strength because when there's too many decisions, I'm just gonna go and pick one, and
Exactly.
it's gonna be fine.
Hi Esther, thanks for joining. I'm gonna pick on some of the peanut gallery here. So Matt, it sounds like you had a good month with your goals. What'd you do?
Yeah, it was more contracts goal. Nailed it.
Oh
Crushed
yeah.
it this month. So we had production each week, which is good for us, new for us. And then hopefully that will carry over as all these folks start coming back to us from last year
Absolutely.
and all of that good jazz.
What
Other
are
than that,
some specific things you did to push that goal?
oh God,
Or
I
pray
dealt
to
with
the
a terrible person for nonsense leading up to final production, but holding us in suspense the whole time, and then came through randomly, and so that was great. And then this week's guy, I think, is going to be a great time. He seems funny. And then did a lot of cleaning as well, both personally and professionally this month.
I will say your desk has been very clean, which I think is
Yes.
something to be rewarded.
There you go.
We'll have to take a picture and put it in the Discord. Be like cleanest desk board.
Before, after.
Yeah.
So that's been sweet. A little decluttering action, and then a lot of efficiency improvements on the professional side as well. Not really from me, but from people I work with.
AKA me.
been cool.
No, I'm just kidding.
AKA you and our other superstars. And I hope for the impulse purchase, Lily, you go with a neon green, something real Fast and the Furious Paul Walker vibes.
Okay, I'll consider those. I don't really know if that's my style, but I'll be thinking about you.
A bright
Tokyo-
orange.
Yeah.
Bright
Tokyo
orange
Drift.
Maverick. Crushed it. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, other than that, it was a busy, somewhat stressful, pretty stressful month, but overall good month as it wraps up here.
Out of 5, what were the vibes?
Out of 5,
Yeah.
5's being best, I would
Mhm.
say about a 4. I
Okay.
would get upset, but then I would be like, but this is part of the fun. Why we do what we do. And so I kind of kept with that route.
I'll take that.
And that's kind of going to be the continuous stream. So it's going to
Cool.
be sweet.
All right, we're rounding out. Eric, you've been dodging my messages. How has your month been?
Yeah.
Feel that.
I don't know. I mean, it's been a rough month. It's not. I don't feel like I've been in control of my month. I feel like my month has been controlling me, and I'm just like along for the ride. So it's. I mean, it's not. It's some bad things have happened. My stepdad passed 2 weeks ago. He was 95, so it was like, gonna happen at some point, but that's really hard. My mom's still around, so I've been helping her, and that's thrown off a lot of things. And then on the more positive side, I got a new client, and they're demanding a lot of my attention. I usually am the one that kind of gets clients started, and then I can pass it off to my crew to actually do real work.
Yup.
So, but this is kind of at the initial stages of the client, and because they're super close by. I'm just north of San Francisco, and they're in the Presidio in San Francisco, so it's only about a half hour away. So usually we do all of our work remotely, but in this case, it's kind of like it's hard to say I can't show my face at the beginning because they're only a half hour away. So, but when I go in there, I can't. It's like I can't work on other things. So I'm, dedicated to them like while I'm there. And then I get off at the end of the day. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't get anything else done that I would usually like. I'm such a multitasker. I usually work on like 5 things simultaneously. And working at one client is really crimping my style. So I'm working on getting that set up and started so I can pass off some of the work to others and then get it so I can do more of my part remotely. But new clients are good, right?
Watch,
Yeah.
now they're going to expect you to show up every week.
It keeps funding the operation. I've been clear that I'm not going to keep showing up in person. But yeah, so that's good. But the website content is still kind of haunting me, and I don't really spend much time on it. So it's not like I'm working a ton on it. It's just other things keep getting in the way. So I have to put my attention back on that. Trying to get a new. I have a new version of OA Robot that is available to be put out there to people, but because I'm so busy, it's like if I put it out there, then people are going to have questions and want support and stuff like that. So I'm like waiting for a time when I feel like I have enough time to react to people's questions or whatever if I put it out there. So that's also on my mind. But other than that, I don't remember what my goals were. Something about Python. I don't think we added a Python command to OA Robot, which I have been fooling around with. But in terms of learning Python, I can't say that I've learned anything about Python besides that ChatGPT is good at writing Python.
That's good enough sometimes.
Yes. But I did find one person that is in our beta that is doing a lot of Python stuff. So he's going to help do some of the beta testing. So hopefully I can offload some of the Python fun to other people.
That's awesome. And I have to give you credit, Dash, meet you in the putting things off camp, because Danielle Stein Fairhurst, and I pronounced that wrong, and that's fine. She asked me back in January, hey, in March, I'd like you to do this presentation on learning to learn. And I was like, hell yeah, I'm in. And I built the outline back then. And thank God I tricked myself so hard. I put it on my calendar for today as a presentation. So I stayed up till 5 a.m. just cranking this presentation out just for it to be tomorrow. So
Wow,
I'm
good for
writing
you.
I'm writing on fumes, but it's been haunting me for the last 2 months for no reason. And that's been preventing me from doing my taxes, from doing my, like, I'm going to be honest, it kind of took away from the Power Apps. Like, it was kind of, and I even, like, I look back at, I watched last month's video where we're talking about doing a little bit of each of all of your projects versus putting one horse and then doing all of them sequentially. I was talking about it last month, and little did I know I was actually supposed to be talking to myself there, because I put everything behind the presentation horse. And so I got literally, I mean, I'm not going to say literally, I got the bare minimum done this month. So I can't be too harsh about the website thing, because I was way worse.
Well, I'm impressed with anybody who's actually able to trick themselves in order to get work done, because I wish I had that skill.
It was a buzzer beater for sure. I mean, and the fact that I was shocked. I was astonished. I sat there with that in my soul. I was looking at the calendar, and Emily was like, is it today or tomorrow? And I was like, I think it's today. And I look and I'm like, nope, 100%. And I'd already sent out to all the different groups, hey, come to my thing tomorrow. Passed it. On that note, Emily, I know you said you've got about, you're on track to do about 80% of your goals this month, but you also are a superstar that does like 17 of them. So tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah, so I am now officially caught up with all my marking. I marked a disastrous midterm, but I'm caught up now. So that's good. Yeah, my students did not do well. Anyways, hope it's not me. But yeah, no, it didn't go well. Work has been it's been kind of slow, so it's hard to motivate myself. I've got to do client outreach and stuff, and that's always tough. And I had to go to this big presentation, a big conference, which was kind of fun, but is very nerve-wracking for me. But I actually, went there and I did some follow-ups, and we'll see what happens there. So that's good. I can turn on my camera. And what else? I've been doing, again, a lot of physio. What's just really frustrating is that what I wanted to be able to do this month, despite, I don't know, 4 gym sessions a week and 30 minutes of physio and everything. And I'm like, and I still can't do it, the exercise that I wanted to be able to do. So I'm like, what else do I have to do?
Yeah.
So that one's kind of frustrating for me right now. So that's kind of what killed the vibe, sort of for me.
Absolutely. It's tough. It's tough to shake off one bad, like letdown from infecting all the others. And it's still practicing. I feel like there's a mixture of compartmentalization of like, oh, that's a work issue or that's a life issue or this, but then they all start to kind of ooze together. And so that's kind of tough. Which, to tap into something else, or rather from the notes that I got, Don, you had a cool thing that you mentioned. You said you fall to the weakness of your systems, or the weakest point of your systems. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Oh.
Yeah. I can't remember the whole quote, but whenever I'm operating at my best, I have unloaded a lot of the effort onto my systems, like being reminded of the flow of things, the process of things, what comes up. But if I don't have those in order, then I have so many things that I have to do that a lot of things fall off. So at scale, we really do fail, or we not fail, but we falter at the efficiency of our systems. Because at a certain point, has anybody read the book The E-Myth by chance? No? Yes, no. It's essentially like I guess the OP book on people that start a business, that usually they're like a baker, they love to bake, then they start a baking business, but they're a baker, they're not the business owner, so they have to like detach themselves from being a baker. And anyways, the idea is that you have to put things in place in order for yourself to scale, and if those aren't efficient or if they're not working, then you're not going to go very far. So whenever I had to reintroduce myself to that, because there's, even though systems can be automated and whatnot, they do have to be maintained. And I kind of fell off the horse on maintaining some of them this month.
I feel that. I've been recently, what I'm recognizing is if I don't have my reset Sunday, and I know that was a leap from like Emily's point to Don's point back to my brain, but we're all a little neurodivergent here, so we're going to go with it. But what I recognized is like, I really have to protect my Sundays to do, take out the trash. And I know that sounds like a small task, but like vacuum, laundry, dishwasher, cook for the week, like, and those are all very basic life tasks, but if I do not get them all done in that day, it like creates these ripple effects throughout the week of like, then I'm eating like crap, and then I'm sleeping like crap, and then I'm like waking up like a moron, and it all kind of just gets funky. And I had to, so it's funny, going to school for industrial engineering is all about optimization and all that. And then now in my adult life, I have to decentralize from optimization of the dishwasher doesn't have to be full to run it. The laundry doesn't have to be full to run it. The trash doesn't have to be full to take it out. So Sunday, no matter what level all of these things are at, they all have to be done so that I can go into my Monday with all I have to worry about is the work and the people and the networking and all that. And there's obviously times when you're traveling, but honestly, it takes me so much longer to recover from traveling. And I think Ritu, obviously moving, like that's completely throwing off the feng shui of a day, but I digress. Anyways.
Hey, Amber.
Yeah.
Mind if I jump in?
Yeah, go for it.
So it wasn't until recently that I switched back to saying, hey, Sundays are my get everything done day. But what I used to do is I took that big long list of things that I do on Sunday, and I would just say like, okay, which day in the week would this be better placed? And I would smooth it out to where it wasn't all just on one single day. And if I missed it, then everything else it's sort of like a tornado. You know, you missed it and it just, the whole town's gone. So so instead of doing it all in one day, I switched over to just trickle it in throughout the week. I've recently switched back to putting it all on Sunday, just to try it out again. But have you ever tried to like just pick it apart and place it in different days?
So yes, and side note, Esther and Jody, I do want to hear how your months have gone right after this. But so what I do, so in my, I don't know if you guys have heard of Finch. It's a little bird that you take care of, and it gives you all these little daily goals. I'm going to show you this silly little bird. I named it Queef. Who could be sure why? Anyways, okay, so I've got this little bird. Let's see if got this little bird, and there's all these little tasks like brush your teeth, get out of bed, wash your face, clean some stuff. So this month, and you can go on little journeys. And so this month's journey is spring cleaning. And so I sprinkled in a little extra cleaning tasks for like on Tuesday, I'm going to clear off one shelf. I'm not going to clear out the whole closet. I'm going to clear off one shelf. And so I've been each day doing just a little bit extra. So I am kind of towing my waters there. In the ADHD hyper focus world of this, I'm afraid to break a process while it's working. I have to ride it out while it works, as long as it works, until it breaks, and then I know how to manipulate and go into different ways of working. But it's not often I find a process that really kicks off and works, like finding like the body doubling or like the goal system. Like once I figured out the office hours with Amber like weekly cadence thing, I was like, oh, we gotta stick with this for now. Now it's not working, oh my God, perfect, but it's better than what it used to be. And like when I found out Ritalin exists, holy shit. And then all of these things. So I'm kind of riding them out, but I think if there's at a point where it becomes overwhelming, and I'm very cautious to watch for that because, and I think Jack talked a lot about managing burnout, and I think this would be a good topic for everyone, but I'm going to pin that, and I want to hear from Esther real quick, and then I'll go to Jody after. Esther, I know you've got a lot of craziness going on in your world, so let us know what's up.
Yeah. I mean, mostly just been really busy at work. I think busier than I've been in the 2 years I've been working for Operas. This has been the busiest month.
Wow.
Worked more overtime than I'm used to. Which has just caused everything else to fall to the side. Yeah, it mostly like all the little things like cooking and laundry and cleaning just fall to the side. And my goal for this month was to get through 3 units of studying, because I'm studying for level 2 of the CFA to take it in May. I did not get through 3 units. I'm just doing a quick calculation of how much of I got through 1 and a bit
Hey.
out of 3.
1 and a bit's better
which
than
is
0.
more than 0, but it's proportionally is about a quarter of what I was supposed to do because the first unit was small.
Well, the other half of supposed to and should and all of that is like it's rooted in your own. I mean, obviously, yes, based on the projected to complete by this date, there is certain goals, but
Yeah.
it is also rooted in self-propelment, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, like or not yesterday, on Saturday, I finally got time to like actually reset everything. Saturday is my reset day,
Hell yeah.
and Sunday's my day off.
Good.
But I finally got to do like all the laundry and dishes and cleaning. And I took today off work, and after this, I'm going to go cook for the week.
Great.
But yeah, my goals for the month didn't go as planned. Month generally not fantastic. I've been very tired and very busy.
Absolutely.
Very overwhelmed.
So during the burnout conversation, you're definitely going to have some things to say. So, yes, okay, awesome. Jody, you've been kicking ass on your goals, and you've been posting them on TikTok a lot, and I'm stoked to hear about how you think your month has gone.
Hi, I'm sorry. It took me a second to figure that out. I was really panicking over the mute button.
This
yeah,
is my sister,
so-
everyone, just
Hi.
if we look a little familiar.
So January and February went really, really well this month, and I'm so glad to hear I'm not the only one. It wasn't the best, but also my goal was very generic in nature. It was just a new hobby and to meet new people. I did not succeed on meeting well, if you count the guy at the gun shop, I guess so. But
What's your hobby,
I just-
Jode?
my new hobby is I wanted to get my concealed carry by the end of the year. And so I did go to the gun shop and I did
Woo.
shoot a gun. So
Hell
I did
yeah.
it once. I'm working night shift at the hospital, and there's been a lot of, ironically, bleeding issues at the hospital. So it's been a high stress month. But I'm a lab tech, if by the way, blood banker. But so I did do that, and then the rest of my month, I honestly went back to an old hobby, and I've been crocheting because we have like 3 different people in my life that either have cancer or about to have cancer. So I started making beanies for my friends, and it's been really relaxing with the stuff that's been going on in work. So haven't gotten super far. Oh, and I've also thought about a couple of long goals too. So I've been working on pull-ups.
Whoa.
and there's just a pull-up machine in the gym, and I've been working on that. And there's another goal that like I'm not gonna just do for like 1 month. So that's how my month's been, basically.
That's impressive. If you guys are unaware, pull-ups, I have never been able to do one in my life. And I don't know what all of your gym standards were growing up, but ours was, oh, every kid should be able to do at least one, and boys should be able to do three. I would go up there and they're like, okay, Amber, just try. And then I'd hang and I'd be like, oh, and then it would that was it. Like, so the fact that you're even making progress on that is really wicked.
Yeah, and I was a really chubby kid, so I literally like cried after making like a certain PR like a week ago,
Oh,
and like chubby 10-year-old Jody just like came out and like started sobbing in the middle of the gym.
hell yeah.
But there was one other thing I was gonna say. Oh, you guys were talking about like taking out the trash and stuff like that, and I feel like Don had like a really good like sprinkle it through the week. I've got another tip, and
Ooh.
basically anybody can do something for like 15 minutes. Like if you put yourself like a timed goal
Ooh.
of like, okay, I really don't want to know where to start or what I want to do. Set a timer for 15 minutes, and everything that you see that needs to be done, you just do it for the 15 minutes. And then you can relax afterwards or go on to the next thing that you got to do. And sometimes I go from 15 minutes to 30 minutes because I felt so good about just getting 15 minutes done. So just wanted to chime in.
It's a good good thing. Once we dive into the conversation, I do the same exact thing, but centered around Pomodoros.
Nice.
Well, we have come to that aspect. I want to hear more about so we're going to kind of talk about burnout a little bit. And so obviously before you get burnout, there's like some overwhelm, there's some stress, there's some precursors to it. So do you guys, and you guys can sprinkle in however you want to, if you have opinions, like what are some preliminary signs you can tell you're getting overworked? And when you let's start there. What are some preliminary signs that you know with yourself that you're on the way to burnout?
I think one of the number one indicators is your sleep. How are you sleeping? If you're waking up in a cold sweat, that's usually a bad sign. I know when I'm doing best, I'm getting a good night's sleep, and not waking up with heavy breathing.
I know for me, it's like if I start like losing at the kids for cereal bowls and stuff on the table, annoying things, but I'm like cereal bowls and dirty socks become like really, really bad, like really important, then that's kind of like, okay, we need to.
The fuse gets a lot shorter. Yeah.
Yeah, contempt for yourself starts to kick in. Mine is usually I'm pretty protective of my sleep, so I have to be in a very bad place for my sleep to be suffering. But for me is I have like different pillars of life that I feel is important, and whenever I start faltering in one or multiple of them, so health, wealth, family, all this good stuff, those are my early indicators of whether I'm reaching burnout, because I'm over prioritizing one thing over another, and I believe in some form of balance. And so once I start seeing that trend, then I know I'm off.
And for me, it's like a backache, which just inexplicable one. It just starts from there, and sometimes even dreaming of the work. If I dream of spreadsheets in my sleep, so that means something is it's like that is overpowering my normal routine. So dreaming about it, and secondly, my backache. Yeah.
Everything's good in my world if I'm dreaming of spreadsheets. That's when I know everything's healthy, is when I wake up and I'm like, oh, I was having a dream about a spreadsheet. It's the non-spreadsheet dreams that I worry about.
It's funny you guys bring up like the sleep, because I don't think I've slept more than 4 hours in a row in the last decade. And like, so I really live life one REM cycle at a time. And so I've gotten used to it. And I think there's a like a future where that won't happen. But I'm trying to think of, and of course I posed the question, but I have no good answer, is like, I am still in the process of figuring out all of my roads to burnout, because I think the last time I was truly burnt completely, and I think the rock bottom was the rockiest of bottoms, was when I was leaving Anheuser-Busch, and my ADHD, like I'd finally accepted, okay, I've got this, I've got my diagnosis, it has impacts on my life, my motivational strategies aren't working, none of them are working. I think that's actually the burnout signs, is like when none of any of my strategies are working, and I'm like, and it was, I mean, I don't want to say I was burnout yesterday, but it was close yesterday to the fact that I had rearranged my living room because I was going to do anything else other than the work I had to do. I was like, I've cleaned everything. I now have to find new ways to clean, because I was like, oh, my sewing machine sits here, but I can't use it here because there's no outlet. But there's an outlet over there. But if I have this, and now I have you can't see it, but I have this new stool that I found because there was junk that was sitting on it before. So now I'm like stoked. So I did all of this stuff to my kitchen, my like living room. Didn't do any of what was actually going to help me. So I only pushed me into a situation of, if I wait till last minute, it only takes a minute to do, which always works, which I hate. It's like, Amber, be better. But we're not judging ourselves. But that's the looking for the signs of burnout is like, let's go back to Anheuser-Busch time. I like left, and then I didn't do anything for 4 months. I just slept at my parents' house, and I think my mom's in the chat. She said she gets sick if she's overwhelmed, so her body basically tells her when to slow down. But I just went catatonic for 4 months, and that is a pretty serious state if you have like a family to support, whereas I just had Banjo, so he's sleeping, I'm not going to bug him. But so let's say you guys are in a state of burnout. What does that look like, and do you have anything that can pull you out?
For me, what I find works is like micro goals. Like there's a couple couple tough days beginning of the month, and then I set up my app. It's I think it's kind of like your Finch, but it's different. So like I have set up my whole physio routine in like 2 to 3 minute chunks. Like, do this for 2 minutes, and then I can check it off that it's done. Because it's so it's really like, for me, this really it offloads the mental load of what do you have to do. There's a list, and I have to do it. And it's really hard to tell yourself, what do you mean I can't do 2 minutes of an exercise? Like, yeah. So it's easy to do. It takes 2 minutes. And so you just do it because it's staring at you and you don't have to think about it. So that is what I find when you can't even think about it. So I'm doing a lot of things right now, like to try to offload decision fatigue. And so like one of the things that's like incredibly, not stressful, but takes a lot of effort is just what is this family going to eat all week? So I just like right now I'm just making like updating 6 weeks of meal plans, right? And they don't have to be very fancy or anything, but then it's just like the kids are like, what do you have for dinner? It's like, pick something from the list. And then you move on to the next one. But just knowing that at some point I'll get back to there, and then having again, I think someone who's talking about their systems and their processes is knowing you're going to get back to that. And so having it set up to not have to think when you're in that overwhelm and you're just on autopilot, but at least you're autopilot the right things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Emily's got a great point, is decision fatigue is we get into burnout, and at a certain point we're just making too many decisions in our day, and we need to offload that somehow, even if it's down to what am I wearing, just make it as simple as possible, reclaim some of that mental capacity, and get back on the right path to normal. I guess you could say that's a great, yeah, absolutely.
Because if I've got room for 3 decisions in my day, I don't want one of them to be dinner.
Yeah. Which, speaking of decision fatigue, Don, you'd already also mentioned that you should use ChatGPT more than you do. So the nice thing is, as I was doing research for my Learn to Learn presentation tomorrow, is I dug into really goofy ChatGPT prompts and new ways of working with it. And I just want to quickly out myself here. So here are some goofy things that ChatGPT has helped me with this month. So I I put a picture. ChatGPT has popped off lately. You can talk to it, you can put pictures in, you can upload Excel sheets, you can put PowerPoints in there, ask it all sorts of questions. It could do a lot of stuff. I digress. But I put in texts that I was exchanging with a boy, and I was like, does this seem like he likes me? Like, from his tone, does this look like someone who might like me? And it was like, girlfriend, no. Like, this is a bad situation. Like, that guy does not like you at all. And I was like, damn. You can also, I think Eric and I talked about this a little while ago, was you can do ask me questions to help you help me do blank. So ask me questions to help you help me write a website, or create an outline for this presentation. And then it asks you all sorts of questions that pulls information out of you instead of you having to roll the ball uphill, which I know we talked about it last month, but I think it's still so wicked to talk about. Additionally, talking about doing, I want to, especially for all the learning goals you guys have coming up, you guys have some lofty goals, putting that goal or your tasks into ChatGPT. And you might think, I can prioritize this better. Sometimes it'll give the follow-up questions for you of being like, okay, can this truly wait? What is the actual priority? And it gives you kind of those clarifiers that kind of help push and prioritize. And then it gives prospective times. If it's like Jody was saying, is set a timer for 15 minutes. Work on the presentation, 15 minutes, walk away from it. Because a lot of the times with the more creative, subjective tasks, I could work on them forever because there's no end. Because there's no objective end of is it or isn't it. So that's why it feels like it's just an ongoing battle forever. But I digress. Okay, but anyways, ChatGPT I've been vibing with lately. So even if I was seriously, and one of these sentences will finish, I promise. But my Foursquare, it's very clean, not a lot of craziness. Don't look at this square. Not a lot of craziness. I even put this into ChatGPT and I said, break it way down. And it did. And it helped. And then I had things to cross off the list, which felt good. Okay. Back to you guys. Burnout. Jody, go for it.
Okay. So I love the simplicity, and I honestly, most of the stuff that you guys would say, I'm probably on board with. But one thing that I feel like people don't think about when you're in burnout is usually we eat poor and our diet isn't as good. So I highly suggest popping a multivitamin in the beginning of your getting out of burnout. And if multivitamins don't work well for you, I have the MTHFR gene. A lot of people don't know about this, but a lot of, especially Caucasian population, don't process normal B12. They need a methylated B12. So if the normal multivitamin isn't working, then try a methylated B12, and B12 is great for your energy level. So I do a couple of weeks of that, and just adding a multivitamin really changes just my energy level. And that, along with sleep, I start to be able to kind of snowball it. But just want to chime in with
Oh, that's a good one. Which I took your advice on that, and I don't know if I've seen specifically. I might be eating expired vitamins. Who could be sure? I found it in my cabinet. But you said a good point to me when we talked about this last time. Was I was saying, I want to wait till I get. I don't want to take vitamins until I'm back squared up, because putting a vitamin on top of a dog pile feels like it's not going to do anything. But what you were saying is those vitamins and getting those kind of help get the momentum going and get the energy going so that you can make better choices and kind of keep rolling with it. So it's kind of the chicken and the egg, but realistically it's I don't know the rest of that metaphor. We're going past it, but vibes.
Mhm.
I was like, I know it's a little out of left field, but ChatGPT does pop off. It was end of last year. I just wanted to learn, and I was like, hey, I'm kind of interested in this. Where should I start? I just typed in, hey, I want to learn how to be an effective North American hunter. Make me a 30-day study schedule for someone like me who is just starting out and to learn the skill and in developing it. And it gave me like a 30-day outline of like, hey, if you want to start doing this, like here's week 1, here's day 1, and it walks you through everything that you need to research and study. So it can be anything. It can be Excel skills, hunting. If you want to learn how to do a pull up, there's a lot of different stuff you can do. I like it.
On that note as well, and my research, you can give it instructions on the way you want it to respond to you. Do you want the why, the how, the whole thing, or do you want it to just spit out a formula? Or do you want it to give you context? You can also tell it, so mine was agreeing with me too much. It was like, yeah, girl, pop off, screw that guy. And I was like, no, but can you be like a sparring partner and like actually think logically? And it was like, oh yeah, like for sure. So yes, you can kind of get it to, you can tell it, I want you to question my reasoning, follow up with facts, do some, if you do pull a source, cite it, you can have it pull that stuff. And it's really good at giving you links and quote names and all of that stuff now, which it wasn't before, but I think it's grown a lot. And I think my AI relationship over time has been I'll try something. If it doesn't work well, I'll keep it mentally tallied. So then I'll come back a month later and be like, is it better now? Yay, nay. Copilot still sucks a lot of ass, but ChatGPT is really popping off. So had to just throw a dig in there. But yes, okay. Okay, we have 10 minutes left. I have other things I want to mention. So I'm not going to share my screen because my computer might actually have a heart attack. But the Glow Getter of the Month, I would like to award to Jody Johnson. Woo! So for all of your continued efforts and all of the positive attitude and the light that you bring to the community, you are the Glow Getter of the Month. So proud of your accomplishments, and you've been doing all sorts of cool stuff. And the fact that you are pursuing some interesting goals that I would have never expected. Very cool to see. But yes, congrats to Jody. And then, I can't read my own handwriting. This is horrible. New members did this, ChatGPT. Also, shameless self-plug, Don said he is inspired by my grit, and I don't know what he means by that, but I'm going to take that to the bank. So.
I mean, take it to the bank and cash it,
Hell yeah.
No, I put that in there because, we've known each other for a minute now, and I signed up for this last week, 2 weeks ago, and just the touch points of hey, how you doing? Hey, here, put this, map out your goals, or let us know how you're doing. It might not seem like a lot, Amber, but the level of attention and to detail is very impressive. And, but I'm just saying, it takes grit to set this up and do it and accomplish it and follow through with it. So don't discount yourself. It's great work.
Well, thank you so much. I thought you were going to say because on Friday we were canning. So I was like, yeah, I did look pretty gritty on Friday. I was like. That too.
You're just pulling cans out of the thing. So yeah, that too. That's what I meant.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyways, thank you so much. And especially the funny thing is there's obviously the work that goes into set up a system like this, but what y'all don't realize is this is so self-indulgent of me. At the minimum, I learned 12 new things this year. At the maximum, I get to interact with you guys in the community. And the more, I can't tell you the indescribable effects that Esther messaging in the Discord, I'm going to be on the Body Double Dojo, has had impact on my working. So, literally just someone saying, hey, I'm going to utilize some of the system you've created. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to keep using it. It's great. And so you guys all showing up today does keep the motor running. So as much as, I can do this all myself, it is deeply disengaging to do it for myself alone. So people are the whole reason I do this. But I digress. Little vent sesh, so cute. I also want to shout out Harry Gross. He is the top comment warrior in every single one of my videos, and he's hysterical fun. And I have been reading your comments, Harry, as I've been watching. But anyways, okay, we've got about 5 minutes left. So I want to talk about what things are you guys looking forward to in the month of April? Is there any kind of big exciting? I know I'm gonna kick this off. Crazy idea. So next Monday is a 5th week of the month, which we don't have content for the 5th week of months, but it is also conveniently very close to my birthday. So it'll be the birthday live stream, and I'm going to use it as a self-platform to do trivia, or rather, it's going to be just me talking about myself for an hour, fully indulgently. It's just gonna be story time with pictures and silly shit, and yeah. So if you'd like to tune in, ask questions, and be a part of the trivia, Amber Johnson's birthday is on the 5th. Oh, that's funny. Mom's commenting. Anyways,
Can we submit like our own little funnies?
yes, if you have, I love this. Okay. As much as I'm all for people, I'm also deeply like self-obsessed. So like if anyone has any funny Amber moments or Amber quotes or photos or silly stuff, absolutely submit it to my email, and it will make it onto the onto some form of slideshow, because I love a good slideshow. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do it. Okay, anyways, anything you guys are looking forward to in the next month?
I think for me, it's the Easter break, which is gonna be like the full 4 days of off, because I'm also working in the day and building business in the evenings. So anything like that really helps. Like it just I think fastens up what I've set for myself. And being an ambitious Capricorn, it just like it I mean anything like that just really helps me. So yeah, those 4 days is something that I'm probably looking forward to. But also in the meanwhile, like trying to explore Melbourne a little bit more. So I think those days would help in just planning something. And this is more like a more city as compared to, where I've come from, the greenery and the mountains, and I don't have a car. So it's more around, okay, what will I do like in terms of planning for those 4 days? So yeah, that's something that I'm looking forward to.
Awesome. I'm excited to see your Instagram stories. And if you guys don't follow her on Instagram, it's Project Upgrade Her, right? On Instagram?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Her posts are always like, it's like either there's a mixture of like cool, fun aesthetic. And then there's also like, hey, are you making excuses for yourself again? Knock it off. It's like super funny. But anyways, you should follow her. But yes, what else we got, guys?
Well, I just signed up for E-Myth, the book that Dawn mentioned. So I just downloaded the audiobook, so that's gonna be on my listening list for the month.
Cool.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to updates next month, or whenever it gets read in your free time.
I am, well, next month is my birthday month as well, so I'm looking forward to that. We're great. We're good people.
Yep.
I am looking forward to, so since I have a roadmap of exactly what ChatGPT believes I need to do to become the absolute powerhouse in my industry, I'm looking forward to next month's kickoff of all the skills and tasks and things that I should know and I should learn. And so I'm looking forward to being humbled a little bit.
Awesome.
It might be wishful thinking, but I'm looking forward to less busy work time.
Absolutely.
Also, nicer weather. I'm ready for it to be a bit warmer.
Whereabouts are you?
Toronto.
We can dream.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I just need a little bit more sunlight. Like that 170-degree day hit me like a fucking can of bricks, and I was like, is this what it feels like to like living? I was like, this is crazy. And then it went back to snowing. So we just got to stay strong a little longer.
Yeah, Michigan's like a narcissistic gaslighting partner. You're just
Yeah.
like, hey, it's great. And then it takes away the 70-degree weather and like, hey, we're back down to 32.
Yeah. Woke up to snow today. I was like, screw this. Okay. But anyways, ending on a good note. So we've got about 1 minute left. Any last final words of wisdom for the month? Any vibes from the team? Otherwise, I'm going to go hang out in the chit chat chamber for a little while. I've got 3 hours of sleep in totality, so I'm a little tired. So I'm probably going to log off after I get my MECC stuff done. But yeah, okay. I never know when the